And it is Car Con Carne, still in quarantine Con Carne. I'm James Van Osdell, and tonight's show is sponsored by Siren Records McHenry, now offering curbside pickup and online ordering. Check out their new website at sirenrecordsmchenry.com. If you're in a band, if you own a label, if you want to get your product in a store, message them on social media or call the store. Siren Records McHenry, always looking to support local music. Also worth noting, Local H bringing concerts back to the great state of Illinois. You can see the band playing a full set at the drive-in. They're playing at Harvest Moon Drive-In in Gibson City. Just go south on 57, keep going, you'll get there. June 25th is the date for that. Tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at outhousetickets.com. $15 per person to see Local H performing live at a drive-in. Also tonight, sponsored by C&H Financial Services. On with me tonight as we begin Beer Week on Car Con Carne. Seems to make sense since we're sheltering in place, not near a car. Let's have Beer Week. It's the return of Dan Camp of Metal Monkey Brewing out in Romeoville. Hi, Dan.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. And I wanted, the whole idea of this week is to support our local independent breweries who I know work tirelessly, who I know have been hit by the pandemic and people sheltering in place. So really, tonight is all about you. I want to talk about how the business evolved, but more importantly, out of the gate, what can people do to get your beer? I don't want to bury the lead. If people want to get Metal Monkey Brewing, how do they get it right now?
Absolutely. So right now, the best ways to get our beer, we're doing curbside pickup on Thursday through Saturday between 2 and 7 p.m. And then we're also doing home delivery if you're within 20 minutes of the brewery on Fridays and Saturdays, also between 2 and 7 p.m. Those are the best ways to get our beer. If you go to www.metalmonkeybrewing.com, the main page will actually take you right to our store right now, so you can purchase online and then come pick up when your order's ready. And we'll send you an email when it's ready, or if you just come, within an hour basically of when you order on those days that we're open. Other than that, within the last few weeks, our business has definitely started picking up with some of the grocery stores, liquor stores, and bottle shops throughout the area. So, if you don't see our stuff on a shelf at your favorite place, by all means ask, and hopefully they'll get in touch with us.
Demand your beer from Metal.
Exactly.
So, all right, just to clarify, I'm about 45 minutes from you, not eligible for home delivery.
No, unfortunately not.
Gotta ask.
Oh, of course.
So a little bit of history, and we did an interview maybe a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
For people who are unfamiliar, maybe they're a little bit north of you and they haven't been out to Romeoville. You were at 515 Anderson in Romeoville. Let's talk a little bit about the history.
Sure.
Opened 5 years ago?
Well, just about 4.5 years ago now. So we back at the end of January celebrated our 4-year anniversary. So this coming January will be 5 years. It's actually about 5 years since we first signed the lease on the building. So that's coming up in just a couple of weeks here, actually, which seems crazy. But it started as a kind of a hobby that got out of control. Me and my wife started crunching numbers one day to see if we could make it a viable business. We had a couple other friends that were, involved with getting everything running and opened up and whatnot. And at one point in the process, I was like, well, I don't know if my beer's any good. Because I'd been homebrewing for a number of years. And of course, all my friends say, yeah, it's great. And so I joined a local homebrew club, the Joliet Brewers Guild. And I met a number of great people there. I'm still friends with a lot of those guys today. A couple other people in the club have opened breweries of their own, which is really awesome. And that's actually where I met my other business partner, Jason. He's not with us right now, but we're hoping he might be able to jump in at some point here if he's around. But yeah, I met him through the club. We saw eye to eye on so many things. So it's been awesome being able to work with him. We've become great friends over the years, and we've definitely expanded our operation from our first initial little setup that we had. We're making a lot more beer than ever. We're canning most everything that we make these days. And, before the whole pandemic started, we were hosting a lot of local bands, doing a lot more live music than ever before, which is something we're pretty passionate about too.
Let's talk a little bit about music and bands. I mean, I feel like metal is part of your identity.
Absolutely. Yeah. People always ask, if they're not too into metal, if they, if we were steel workers before we did this, or welders or something like that, just because they're not sure where the name came from. But yeah, we're heavy metal is definitely a way of life for us. We're big fans of metal music. We try to host local bands more often than not. We do some tribute bands every now and then, but they're usually metal tributes, obviously. And occasionally we'll do some acoustic stuff as well. But we mostly like to keep it heavy in our place.
Best show you ever saw?
Best show I ever saw. Ooh. I'd have to probably go with I was still in high school at the time. I can't remember exactly which year. I'd like to say it was like probably 94, 95, but I saw Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. Led Zeppelin's like my favorite band ever.
Sure.
So that was incredible at that age, especially to see those guys live.
Oh my God. Like two guys who you never thought you'd be able to see on the same stage. I just lost you, Dan.
Yeah, sorry about that. I accidentally hit the mute button and didn't realize what I did there.
We're all navigating through this new technology.
Exactly.
As we navigate through COVID-19. So when I last spoke with you 2 years ago, you were pretty much the only game in town out in your little corner of Romeoville. Has that changed? Has the industry grown in your area, or are you still kind of the lone wolf?
In Romeoville, we're still the only brewery in town. There's quite a bit more happening in town now, which is really cool. Right near us by the brewery, we've got Joe's Beverage Warehouse just recently opened, and they've got a really great craft beer selection. They've got a number of taps that until the pandemic, obviously, they would keep stocked with some stuff you couldn't really find at a lot of places, things from out of town or just one-offs from some other breweries. We've also got Iron and Glass in town, another little bottle shop. They do a lot of great stuff. I think closest to us, we've got Workforce Brewing over in Plainfield. We've got Skeleton Key over in Woodridge and Pollyanna over in Lamont. We're all pretty close to those guys. So it's nice having those guys around. They've all been great friends and have been really helpful over the years. And we try to pay it back to them. And like I mentioned, with being a member of the Joliet Brewers Guild, we've got Will County Brewing as well as Mad Hatchet Brewing in Shorewood. Those guys were former members or current members still of the Joliet Brewers Guild. And then Elder Brewing over in Joliet, Andrew over there, he was a member of the JBG as well.
I do like knowing that this is a supportive industry, and I hear that all the time.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, with places starting to reopen, it's been, kind of, I don't know, kind of a headache and kind of just trying to figure out a game plan as to how everything's going to go, how we're going to adapt our business yet again to changes that are coming. And we've actually, we're working with the folks over at Skeleton Key, Miskatonic, and Black Horizon on getting some really cool looking customized plastic cups for when we're all able to reopen, just so we could, obviously we want to keep all of our customers safe and healthy. So getting some compostable, disposable cups was a great idea when Emily and Paul over at Skeleton Key suggested it. But we're working together with the other breweries to try to, keep things as healthy and as environmentally friendly as possible. And so it's cool to keep that dialogue open between everyone, and we're all in this together. So it's nice to have that kind of camaraderie.
Let's talk about your beers. If someone wanted to have a short night, would Asmodeus be the way to go?
Probably, yeah. So right now we've got a couple different barrel-aged versions of Asmodeus available. We did one with a ghost pepper maple syrup, which most people kind of freak out when they hear that. It's not as spicy as you would think. And I love spicy, and it's pretty tame for me. But my wife tells me I'm a horrible judge at these things. So, if we're trying to make something that's spicy, she'll be like, "What did Jason think about it?" Okay, then you could make it if he was okay with it. So it's not too bad, but it's potent. It's bourbon barrel aged, and it's got a little bit of a kick to it. So it's.
So you brew beer in bourbon barrels and rye barrels. Are the differences in taste that noticeable?
They are actually. Yeah, we did a couple of years ago, and we're getting ready to brew this beer again. It was called Death by Metal. It was an imperial porter that was. We aged it in two different types of barrels. We did rye in one and bourbon in the other, and it was noticeably different between the two. The rye definitely had a little bit more of a spicy character to it, and it was by far the favorite of people, myself included. So we're actually going to be looking for some rye barrels pretty soon so we can remake that beer.
Tom Hartsfield, who's watching on Facebook Live, says he can vouch, not super spicy.
No, it really isn't. And actually, knowing him, he's kind of a wimp when it comes to spice. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that.
Other beers. Tell me about Balloon Head. That sounds like the perfect beer as we head into summer.
Absolutely, yeah. So Balloon Head is one of our newest creations. One of our regulars, Lisa, she's always brought us in different candy and stuff. Just when she's on her way home from work, she'll stop in and have a couple beers and bring us something, because they always have stuff left over at her office. And so she was kind of the inspiration for this beer. We do a number of kettle soured beers with different fruits added and things. Check out one here. This is our Bikini Bottom.
I was going to ask about that next.
Kind of hard to see, but sorry, there's a bit of glare here where the curtains are missing right now because we're getting the walls painted. So
much better lit.
Yeah, definitely. But so it along the lines of something like our Bikini Bottom, it's a kettle soured beer. It's a Berliner Weiss is the base beer, and then we'll add different fruit flavorings into it. We're actually kettle souring over the weekend right now, so tomorrow we're going to finish up boiling this batch. We're making a brand new batch of Balloon Head, and it's actually going to come in 4-packs that are mixed. So there will be, I don't know if I can say the actual name of the candy that it's inspired by, but I think people could figure it out. There's going to be 4 different flavors: a cherry, watermelon, blue raspberry, and then a 4th mystery flavor. So they'll come in mixed 4-packs when they're out, and it's going to be awesome.
Will the mystery flavor taste like cream soda?
Probably not.
I was thinking about that's how it is in Dum Dum Suckers.
Gotcha. Different candy, actually.
Kirill of Huntsman, fantastic metal band, says, "Oh shit, my boy Dan."
That's what's up, Kirill? How you doing?
My boy. Mandela of Fear. Oh my God, that album. I'm sorry, tangent. It's so good.
It's so good. We were supposed to have them play the brewery just after the album was released, because we did a collaboration with them. We made a beer, a saison called Clearing the Sand, all inspired by the album. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to cancel the show. But the album is so damn good.
It's really easy to just leave on start to finish. I mean, it's a double record set, gorgeous pack.
Absolutely.
But love that band. All right, sorry, let's get back to Metal Monkey Brewing in Romeoville, Illinois. Gula is your IPA.
Yep, that is our all Citra hopped IPA. Actually, looking at the record right behind you, that's
put that up for a reason.
Nice, very cool. Yeah, we actually had to change the label recently. We did get a cease and desist letter from the merchandising company that handles all of Ghost's merchandising, and they said they had.
That means you made it.
What's that?
That means you made it.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, someone's actually paying attention to what we're doing here.
You're on Ghost Radar. This is
great. I almost had a friend bring a can to meet and greet the last time they played in town, and then I wasn't sure if that would be the best way to do it or not, but
they'd remember you.
What's that?
They'd remember you.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've got a brand new label for that beer now, but it's fantastic. A double dry hop Citra IPA.
So as people are looking to do curbside pickup, grab some of your beer, what else should they be zeroing in on?
Well, let's see. I've got a couple here just so I could show them off. But this is a brand new one we canned last week, Monkey Junction. It's a Mexican style lager. I don't know if you can actually see these very well, but
I can see it.
I'm trying to
packaging, right?
See the whole thing. Yeah, we've got a great local artist, Jonathan Grimm Art. We've been working with him on labels for since we started canning, basically. He's done most every label. The Bikini Bottom was done by another gentleman, Joe Condon. He's working with Liquid Love Brewing right now. They're getting ready to release their first beers. So we're looking forward to that. But Monkey Junction is a great summer beer, Mexican style lager. It's crisp, refreshing. It's just a really nice beer when you're sitting outside grilling or just hanging out. Another one, and this one is probably our most controversial beer, just because of the flavor in it. But this one is called Rick. It's a pickle goes. So it's if you're Rick and Morty fans, it was inspired by Rick and Morty, obviously. And it was an idea I had a number of years ago, actually, because the style it goes, it's a sour wheat beer that has sea salt and coriander. And I thought to myself, that's not too far off from like pickle spices, or, it's got the sour, it's got the coriander. Like, what if we add some other pickle spices and pickle juice to it and see how it tastes? And we've done a couple one-off batches of it where we just did like a single keg or, 2, and they've always gone over great. People have loved them and went crazy for them. So we decided, let's try canning it and see what people think.
Why not?
And it's been selling like crazy lately. We're probably gonna have to rebrew it soon.
Love it. All right. So Metal Monkey, 515 Anderson in Romeoville, metalmonkeybrewing.com. is where we can find you. Anything else we need to know before I send you off to enjoy your beers?
Check us out on our Facebook page. That's probably the best place to get the most current information as to when we're reopening. We're brewing a number of new beers to get ready for being able to reopen at the end of June, or hopefully sooner if possible, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, awesome. Be on the lookout for us. And thank you so much for having me.
I'm going to stop the Facebook live stream. I do want to thank Shanzi and Natalie. Who else is here? Gianna, Ken, Fred, Chewy. Thank you all for watching. Much appreciated.